Hi, I'm Dr. CS, and in this video we're going to install Python and PyCharm. So I'm at the drcs.code's website, and you can go to either Programming Principles or Professional Python, view the course, and click on Getting Started. In this video we're going to do these first two steps. We're going to install Python, and we're going to install and configure PyCharm. So first, installing Python. To install Python on Windows, let's go down to the Windows section here, and we'll do the same thing we would do for Mac OS. We'll go to python.org. Downloads. Python 3.10.6 for Windows. We'll open that file. Now, this is important on Windows. Down here at the bottom it says add Python 3.10 to your path. Make sure that that is checked. And then just go ahead and accept all the other defaults by clicking Install Now. Okay, and at the end here, it gives you the option to disable Windows' path length limit. I recommend doing that. And that's it. Now that we've installed Python, let's make sure it works. Go to the Windows Start menu, type in terminal. And in my copy of Windows, I have set the Windows terminal to be the default terminal. It's a very good terminal. And one thing about Windows is that Python 3 doesn't work. It's just called Python in Windows. All right. Now, just to see where it is, in command shell, get command python.exe, because in Windows, all the executables end in .exe. And get the path of it, and there it is. So that's where the path is going to be. So when we set up PyCharm, that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, so back to our browser. Back up to the top. Follow our link to the IntelliJ and PyCharm page. Click on PyCharm. Now for this one, I'll go ahead and download the community version. Okay. Now we can start the PyCharm installer. Accept the defaults. You can go ahead and create a desktop shortcut if you want. I definitely recommend adding the bin folder to the path. If you want to add open folder as project, you can do that. Create an association. So what that does is if you double click in the file explorer on Windows on a .py file, it'll open that file in PyCharm. I think that's a good idea. All right, now it's all installed. I'm going to go ahead and just reboot later. All right, now we should be able to simply PyCharm. Accept the license. Sure. Okay. So this is the welcome screen for PyCharm. If you've never used PyCharm before, I recommend doing this interactive course on learning PyCharm. And I actually recommend going back to that every few days or weeks when you're first getting started to just to refresh your memory. But we'll come up here to projects. And let's go ahead and create a new project just to see what that's like. So this is my home directory on Windows. And if you accept JetBrains, if you accept PyCharm's defaults, then it will put Python projects in a PyCharm projects subdirectory. And this is just auto-created. We'll just go ahead and stick with that. You want to use a virtual environment always. There are several different environment managers you can choose from. Virtualenv is the one that is provided in the Python standard library. So that is the one that we will use. And it simply creates a venv directory in the root directory of your project. And then that will contain some configuration and locally installed packages. We'll talk about that more when we get to the modules and programs lesson. And as you can see here, this is the base interpreter. This is the one that we saw before at the command line. So this path here should match this path here. All right. And just to see how it works, we'll go ahead and create a main.py welcome script. All right, go ahead and download pre-built shared indexes, anything to make it faster. So here we are in our sample project. We can run this script with this button here or with Shift F10. With this breakpoint set, we can click on debug, and now we've stopped execution right here. All right, and we'll talk about debugging in a future lesson. Let's just run to the end. And we're all done. So now we're ready to go on Windows.